Welcome back. A new law in California is affecting tens of thousands of vehicle owners statewide. Starting last week, some diesel vehicles must now be smog checked. Brian Bowersock with West Escondido Auto is here to give us some of the details. And, you know, this is something you have to just kind of scratch your head about as far as why did it take till 2010 to get this change. I remember my dad has driven,
Mercedes diesels.
Yeah, Mercedes diesels. Yeah. For as long as I can remember, and you see all that stuff coming out, and Dad, why aren't you getting a smog check?
Is this good for the car?
Right, yes, it's good for the environment.
Yeah, diesel vehicles have grown over the years, in the past 20 years, as far as population-wise. A lot more diesel trucks out there. Folks use them to tow things with, stuff like that, pickup trucks and personal vehicles. So in this law, they've been working on this for a while. They've been threatening it's going to happen, and it finally came in 2010. Now, keep in mind, it takes a lot to put a program together that never existed before for the state. With smog, they come up with different ideas on what to do. The diesel smog check program, unlike the gas car smog check program, we actually don't stick a sniffer in the tailpipe. We don't measure emission levels. There are 3 parts to this new smog check for diesels, though. Number one is what's called an OBD2 test, which we actually plug in, see if there's any code stored, emission-related codes that are been picked up by the vehicle that there's a problem. Second one is to verify all the factory emission components that came on the vehicle are on there. So it's a visual kind of inspection. And then also verify, and this is the big one, it's going to get a lot of people, verify aftermarket stuff has not been added that is not Air Resources Board approved.
Interesting.
Now, there's a lot of people who have diesel trucks. They put chips on them. They put extra large turbo systems on them. Some of that stuff is legal, so don't get me wrong, and it has been approved. But some of it is not, and they've not had to worry about this registering a vehicle and doing the smog check up until this point.
And what's interesting about this is, for diesel vehicles, the new law says that you have to get it resmogged biannually. So every 2 years, you have to bring it in, and that's not the same for gasoline vehicles.
Gasoline cars, you buy a brand new vehicle, for 6 years you're exempt. You don't have to smog the vehicle. 4 years if you're for transfer of ownership. So you could buy it, have it for 3 years, sell it to somebody else, they can go register it without smogging it. On 4th year, that's diesel vehicles, you purchase it, 2 years later it will be required to be smogged. And transfer of ownership, it has to be smogged. And the last part of that test that we did not talk about is what's called a snap test, which we actually visually check for lingering visual smoke coming out of the tailpipe after you do a snap accelerator test.
Gotcha. So there's 3 different types of testing stations. And, how do people know exactly which station they need to go to?
Actually, it's fairly easy. For renewal purposes, you get it'll say test only or gold shield directed. So there's 3 types of stations. There's a test only, a test to repair, and then there's a gold shield station. Gold shield stations can test any vehicle. Doesn't matter if it's test only directed, whatever it is, they can all be tested. Test only vehicles can test any vehicle also, but they cannot do any repairs on a vehicle. All they do is just smog test. And a test and repair can test any vehicles that are not test only directed, and they can do repairs also.
So is it the DMV that's going to tell you, exactly what you need to do?
When you actually get your renewal notice, it says on the top, smog check required, or it'll say smog check required at a test-only gold shield station, and that kind of gives you direction there.
So, is it best to go to a gold shield station, or to make sure that they can do everything, in case there's a problem?
Correct. Gold shield stations are obviously, there's a lot fewer of them. They've been certified by the state of California. They have to follow a few more rules as far as they have to guarantee their repairs for smog check and things like that. So I would tell you this, that they are, and they're also do the Consumer Assistance Repair Program for the state of California. So they're entrusted with a lot more. If you have any questions or think there may be a problem with a car or something like that, a Gold Shield station is a great option for you.
And if people want to get a hold of you, do you guys do smog checks?
Yes, we do. We're also a Gold Shield station, of course.
I was going to guess that. I was going to guess that, Brian. Gold Shield Station, West Escondido Automotive and Transmission. There you see the address, 2200 Auto Parkway, Suite A in Escondido. There's the phone number, 760-741-0071. Brian Bowersock, always a pleasure.
Glad to be here.
All right. See you next time. And, of course, more information, website, san diego6.com.